All right, what's going on, everybody? I am the one, the only, the WOOKIE. Joined here, not as always, because, there's a wild Wookiee sighting from what I'm being told by my friends on the other side, but we got Big Z.
Hey!
JR.
Welcome back, Wookiee. Oh my goodness, he is here, friends. We can almost reach out and touch him. He is alive.
Once I write the schedule, it'll be different, right? So I can actually make my own schedule now that I'm a store manager. So I write the schedule. And we have Dan too.
Meh.
Well, we always have Dan, but where are we starting out? So you guys I've been listening, and you guys always start out with why I suck at Keyforge.
Yeah, Wookiee, since you're here, why do you suck at Keyforge?
All right. Well, I guess I'll tell the story. What was this? A couple weeks ago during Chainbound, we talked about this quite a while ago. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. The Wookiee decided not to fold them and to keep holding them to try to make something out of nothing. And when you do that, what typically happens in Keyforge? Z knows.
What typically happens is your opponent's going to play 3 times as many cards as you, and you're going to lose.
And disaster struck, basically, yeah. So I completely got run over. The deck did go 3-1, so obviously the deck did okay. But I learned my lesson in this situation. I should have just sacked the turn, dumped those 4 cards because they weren't happening anytime soon, dumped them, and moved on with life. And just been like, yeah, it's an unfortunate scenario, but here we are. I'm going to call the house, dump all 4 of those, and just move on and keep going. And I didn't. And I got steamrolled pretty hot and heavy. No doubt about it. I ended up making a small comeback in the end, but I just wonder, if I didn't spend 2 to 3 turns, thinking about how can I work my way out of this mess, I could have probably moved forward with the game plan as opposed to trying to work myself out of a really bad situation. So,
and I believe Dan may have mentioned an anecdote that he experienced in the same vein, right? This was one of your items?
Well, yeah. So, my deck, it has a lot to do with learning how to play my the woman deck, which it just has kind of bad Untamed in it in Coda.
Yeah.
Listen, I played that deck. I will defend that Untamed to the death. It's not that bad.
It often comes, and it's not just that deck. That's just where I really learned my lessons. But it's your one house, and a lot of decks have this, your one house that doesn't have amber control. And getting later into a game where you're getting close to the end, you've got to know when to just dump that house or dump those cards to have your control. Even if you can reap to key on board, right? If they're not on check and you don't have amber control answers in your hand, you got to move towards them, because if they can take you off and go to check and you got no amber control answers in your hand, you've just lost the game, right? So you got to have, especially towards the end, you got to have your amber control answers in hand and ready to go.
Which kind of also pairs with what we talked about, I think, last week or maybe a week before, of what potential amber is and understanding where you're at in the game, what you need to do. Yeah, so I think that kind of goes hands in hand. But specifically, I think I've actually played a game within the last 2 hours. My opponent landed Lord Invidious on play, and I'm looking at my hand. It's obviously all creatures. Some of them are pretty good, but knowing that I have answers in the deck and I have to get them, I called the house the next 2 preceding turns that had the most creatures, dumped them, directly discarded them. I think one turn I actually did play a creature because I was able to kill it with 1 damage or something the same turn. Eventually I drew into my answer and I was able to come back and win the game because I did eventually draw into the answer. Had I got stuck there, started playing inefficiently, I very easily could have just lost the game to Lord. Because you got to move forward. You got to find your game plan, and dumping the hand is often the way to get there.
Yeah, I'm just my situation that I just want to keep, have people keep in mind is when you have a good board, but a bad hand. Like, sometimes you've got to give up your good board play one turn just to get into a hand, because if they come back and they board wipe you, or if they come back with a big play and you're sitting on that bad hand, you may just lose the game there, right?
You don't
Like,
have a response. That has
right,
happened numerous times to me.
Yeah, I mean, and not every deck, sometimes you're just in a bad position. There is no coming back from it. But in some of these close games, right, you know, often you got to be ready to respond to them basically completely devastating your board state and maybe taking all your amber. Like, these things can happen, and you got to be ready to go back from hand. So you need to be moving towards that state, especially when you have some momentum, but their deck has the potential. You got to watch that and make sure you're holding your answers. Like, this comes back to, we talked about holding cards too, right? You can't throw away your answers either, but you definitely need to look. Like, if you don't have amber control in your hand, and that's really my one, and you're getting down to the end of the game, it's quite likely you need to toss your hand to hold answers, because those last couple turns, it's a lot of games end where it's only a 1 amber difference, right? They knock you down to 5 and go up to 6, and if you don't have amber control, they just won the game. So that's where I am with, not dumping your hand when you don't have answers. The board wipes are the other big thing these days, right?
Yeah, sure.
Both when to hold them and when to go digging for them. Often people don't hold them, and then they end up trying to dig for them after it's too late.
It's the opposite of what we're talking about, is because we're talking about not dumping hand. But on just a personal experience note, lately, I've seen more games lost due to the current meta shift than ever before, because people are used to just discarding their gateway or their unlock gateway or spirit's way or whatever it happens to be. You're used to discarding that, and it becomes kind of a habit, because kind of talking about, you got to move through your deck, right? But that decision, I've seen many more games lost recently because of the decision that we are used to making, not being the right decision all the time anymore.
But I think that goes more with, what is the win con for the deck? So seeing that having a big giant board, being able to control and dominate that game, then yeah, your board wipe is extremely important. If you don't identify what your opponent's going to win on, and you don't modify or change based on what their win con is, well, you probably just tossed and you're frantically searching way too late. And that's the difference in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, completely unrelated to this, I'm coming around to decks with single board wipes are not enough, because you get into that position where you need your board wipe, you play it, and then the next turn they return with playing 5 creatures, and you're just like, what? My board wipe just went in my discard. What do I do now? And you get in so much trouble now with creatures. Like, I sometimes wonder if 1 board wipe is enough.
Sometimes it's not.
Yeah. Well,
all right. What do we got next, Ewok? Keep us up.
So there was a little piece that came out in regards to coaching for money in Keyforge, or paid coaching.
Yeah, someone posted online, and the initial response was very hostile, but I think it swung back around on the other side, to be fairly neutral to positive in the end. I think there's a side piece on this, so I think we're not going to talk a lot on it. Wookie, talk to them about what they could possibly, or where they could hear the other.
Yeah, me and Dan did a little ditty. I don't remember what day we did it, but it's on our Patreon right now. It's free, so it's not like I'm charging anybody for it, but totally free. Me and Dan kind of talked about, the whole coaching in Keyforge, and kind of like, this isn't a new, like, it's not a new phenomenon, right? This happens in many different games. You see it pretty often in the Magic community and even the Pokemon community. So where is this argument of people's time shouldn't be or should be free to you? So you and Z and JR weren't here. I don't know if you guys got anything to say more on it, but
I mean, my main thing is, I've never advertised this, but I have been paid to coach people. I've been paid to go through decks. Because there are people out there that want certain expertise, certain skill sets perceived to be like 100% accurate or not. A lot of us have. Some people spend a lot of time in the game, and it just saves you time. If you're jumping into the game and you want to be competitive quicker, faster, you could possibly get information that could take you a lot longer to develop naturally. And if you want to value a person's time for that information, I say it's a good thing. I'm obviously pro since I've done it before.
I mean,
Isn't
if people's
one of our Patreon backing levels kind of like paid coaching?
It pretty much was.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Z have done a full game with a couple people. Probably more than a couple, but
there's
quite a number of
evaluation
people.
one too, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a deck evaluation one and a basically there is a paid coaching level. I mean, listen, me and Z's time is worth something. Like, period, end of story. Somebody's time is worth something. You know, every day people do go to a physical job. Now, it's not Keyforge coaching, but, they go to a job and you're basically being paid for your time. That's, obviously you're doing a job, but ultimately you're paid for your time. Your time is valuable to someone. Yes. And, me and Sheep kind of talked more about it. Like, I don't know who this guy is, but 9 out of 10, Pokemon or, Magic coaches I've never heard of either. I don't know who they are. And some people are better coaches than players. Like, decision making. Don't laugh, Z. I was already gonna make the joke for you. But some people just are better coaches than players. And if you can't play coach, I mean, you look at we can even take this into, quote unquote sports. Jim Harbaugh, not the greatest quarterback in the world, right? But he's won multiple Super Bowls. So there's something to be said, he wasn't the greatest player, but he was a pretty damn good coach, clearly. You don't get to the pinnacle of your sport by being crummy. So, there is something to be said about that. So I kind of, I guess, refrained my level of, hey, I've never heard of you. Why would I pay you? I don't understand that. To kind of something like that. So
real quick, there's a couple of things that I'll interject with. I think it rubs people the wrong way as a result of still seeing where Keyforge is. A lot of people see it as a tabletop. It's a hobby. They're seeing it as essentially pretzels and beer type game where you're investing, a couple bucks in order to play. Other people, on the other hand, are investing quite a bit more, their time, their money, in order to buy quite a few more decks and in order to be able to test and to play them out. It depends on your level of commitment. I'll tell you that there's nothing that's free in this world. The 2 posts that I saw in regards to here, I give the person credit. Puts it out there, was very open. I'm sorry that there was some negative feedback. If there's people that want to get better, I've had people reach out. You get to a certain spot where you just don't seem to be able to move up any further. And so maybe that's how you get better is you watch someone else, you hear someone else and go through it and you get a couple different extra reps with a different viewpoint. You need someone different because what's happening between your ears is what you keep repeating over and over again. Maybe it's a tell. Maybe it's the same type of play that you're walking yourself in. But the second one was in regards to a charity event that they were offering to be able to go ahead and coach, and any money that would be gained went to charity. I think both are truly honorable pieces. And we live in a society, consumerism society, where frankly, if you want a product, you're going to pay for it. So I give them props. And if no one shows up, hey, nothing off my back. But as everyone said, it all requires time and energy from individuals to be away from their families, to be able to continue their quest in getting better too. So
I would almost disagree with you there. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you that, yeah, somebody's time and energy is worth money, and a majority of it. But us as Keyforge players, we have this weird sense of, number one, everything should have value, and number two, everything should be free. Like the minute I created a Patreon, I immediately got hate for it.
But that's what I was saying is that's the perspective that's out there. But frankly, we all have time and commitment, and some people are willing to put more money and more time in than others.
Sure.
Some people see it more as this is not a pretzels and beer game. This is quite a bit more. And you can see that from traveling around to multiple vault tours to going ahead and investing quite a bit more in individual decks. There's some people that have invested a lot of time and money. And that's why I'm saying this idea of how the game is positioned differs depending on who you're talking to. And that's got to be taken into consideration.
And I can tell you, obviously we all are in hopes that the game moves on, but as this game does move on and does move to something such as quote-unquote Vault Warrior, it's only going to get more monetized. Like, the level of monetization is only going to increase. Like, I don't really know how to explain that any better. But, like, look at Magic. Like, the level of monetization started to, I'm going to buy a few packs, to now there's this Pro Tour, so on and so forth, and everything. And Magic has only monetized it more and more and more and more and more. And it's going to happen with Keyforge.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Wookie, is that, frankly, some people want to see that. Mm-hmm. That's us. That's our competitive group right here. But there's other people who are just completely relaxed, and, hey, I'll play a game with my significant other across the table, and we're going to be good. So I think games can exist for both, but it has been tearing, I wouldn't say tearing, but it's been pulling some people in the Keyforge community, like, oh, which side do we fall on? Hey, the community is going to decide, but I love that people are trying to see taking that next step.
Right. So, I mean, like I said, I see it getting more monetized as the time goes on. So, and you know what? It's, again, if that's why I've been pushing for this, and I don't know why I've been pushing for it. Maybe it's just something dumb, but pushing for this alternative community-driven format. Something. I don't know what that all entails, but something that is, it is a community-driven format where there is a level of rules that is strictly for the people who just want to have fun. And they can, that's their bubble. And then competitive has its bubble. And all these kind of different bubbles kind of form. Not cliques, but, like, hey, I just like to have fun, so this is what I play. Or, hey, I'm super competitive, so I do go to the big tournament scenes. So something like that.
Well, if you want to listen to me take what Wookie expected to be a 20-minute conversation and turn it into a 50-minute conversation, come find us discuss this and many other topics over on our Patreon cast.
That definitely happened, but we do have a deck we are giving away to one of our Patreons. Talking about Patreons, you want to talk about that a little bit, Z?
Yeah. So of course, I have a ton of notifications set up for decks Keyforge, and one of them popped up a few days ago. Was looking at the deck. Obviously popped up a notification, so it had some potential to be some good stuff in there. I thought there was a lot of great stuff. Then I noticed the name. It was a name I recognized from way back with our Patreon group and some people in AC. I believe I even met this couple at least one vault, I think two. And who wants to take on the name? The first part's super simple. That's why we got it. But who wants to do the rest?
I'm the master of mispronouncing things, so here we go. It is Steel Oracolo Distante. There you go. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, Lady Aurora. Go ahead, put that into some sort of thing where I mispronounce it again. That's still one of my favorite
longest things. Existing Patreons is the Steels. They've written, I think the husband wrote an article for the Keyforge community a long time ago on
End of
time options that are not horrible, which I do like. So that's one thing that's out there for that they have produced, and they've been friends and Patreons and supporters of our show for a long time. And the deck's pretty good. Do you want to talk about some stuff that's in here? Because it is currently, as of today, it's paid for and on the way from Italia to the Steel's household. They do not know this at the time. I don't believe anyone on our show has messaged them to let them know that they're going to receive a package from us. I'll call the houses, and then each one of you can take a house and tell...
Hold on, we're going to find out. Hold on, 1 second. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear this, but I found the pronunciation, and hopefully it comes through.
Oh my god.
Oracolo.
Oracolo.
Okay, that wasn't horrible, Wookie. All right,
Oráculo.
it's
There he goes.
Logos, Shadows, and Star Alliance. Dan, talk to us about Logos. You're a big Logos fan. What is good about the Logos in this deck?
This logo is just a nightmare of double wild wormhole. So this deck should just go right in the hole, right? Just right in the trash because it's got double wild wormhole. No, this is like every action card has a pip on it, right? It's double wild wormhole, double twin bolt, thorium, knowledge is power, and information exchange. So it's all just amber generation, right? Like if you go into Logos, you got amber generation. And it's got double Igors, which is just good speed, and Eddie, right? A Titan Guardian, and the Babbling Bibliophile is like the trashy card in this set. But there isn't a single bad card in that house, right? Maybe they're not the most powerful cards in Logos, but every single one of them is good, and it's just all amber pips.
All right, Ewok, talk to us about the Shadows here. What do you see? What do you notice? What's good?
So the first piece that jumps out is Hawk. So you have some good, solid hard R control. You're going ahead and looking at a little chain gain with subtle chain, so a little disruption, and then continuing with that double. We have double Ronnie and double Yahtzee gang. So some amber control is definitely there. You get a little bit sad with a bad penny and Breaker Hill, but again, for what you're getting in with this SAS number, phenomenal little deck.
All right, finish us off, Wookie. What is the Star Alliance bringing to the Steel household?
Let's see. I don't know how much you're going to get out of the red alert. Stealth mode, always good. Obviously, what else we got in here? I'm trying to look. Does Transporter platform have any good targets?
It's got 3 targets.
It does have 3 targets, and Sensor Chief Garcia is a good target. Frayne could possibly be a good target. Who's the other one? Well, it's got Ronnie's, so that could be a decent target too.
Could be. Yep. Just in general, mainly it's the three targets are the upgrades.
Yeah.
3 upgrades in here that can make for huge
Amber Swing,
platform. I mean,
Force Field Stunner, and Universal Translator.
For sure. So yes, all kinds of good stuff going on. It popped up as one of my this deck checks all the boxes. You need to go look at this and see if it's at a good price. I did. It was at a good price. And now, because of the name, we're going to ship this out to Patreon. Because it's a fun deck. It has their name. I have decks that have a Z in them, obviously, because that's super easy to do. But I don't have any really that I play at all competitively. So it should be a good addition to their collection. And yeah, it's got
And
their
it's
name
spelled
in it.
correctly, I believe.
The exact spelling of their name, too. Because it's Steel with an E at the end. This is what this deck has. So I hope you two enjoy.
Sadly, really the biggest weakness in this deck is C, probably, because it doesn't have a real board wipe.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it has Flux, it has Red Alert. You were talking it's not great, but your board is at 45, so I'm assuming you're going to get knocked off pretty easily.
Red Alert should actually be live because it's easy to deal with your own creatures.
Yep.
Because, Bad Penny's not coming out, so you really only have 16 of your own creatures. Breaker Hill's going to die, Simon's going to die, and it's easy to zap them off the board. So I think between Flux and Red Alert, you actually do have a pretty good answer to boards.
You have the efficiency to bring them back around.
Yep.
Right? That's pretty good. Yeah, there's a lot to like in this. Like, you could just land a double Yahtzee gang board and just Yahtzee gang the game away, too.
Oh, man. Now I was just looking. I'm looking for names or decks with my name in it, and I found one. I don't know if it's any good. But it's Rex.
Sutilla deck?
No, I just put. There's no Sutilla deck. If there was, I'd be shocked. Rex Senior Loose Cannon Ryan.
That's
nice.
Pretty good for you.
I like the name. I dig
cannon.
it. Yep, I am the loose cannon. So I dig it. There's some other good ones. Ryan the Superficially Destructive. Take that one too. I'll have to start getting on naming some people. But what do we got coming up next, Ewok?
All right. So afterward, we have built a really nice community. Honestly, I'm having a lot of fun, enjoying being able to talk. There's more and more people coming, which is great. That's exactly what we want to see with this community. Discord is hopping. There's a lot of talk and chatter. But I think that it is time to go ahead and open up for some Team AC. What do you guys think about this?
I think it's a great idea. I think we see a lot of people that are playing on our chain bounds. They're playing in the KFPL events that are unaffiliated, but they're in our channel quite a bit. So I think it's a pretty good time and opportunity for, say, Wookie and Ewok here to create a official, unofficial team AC. To kind of invite people that are looking for a place to kind of belong and play with other people, to come on out and join up, share thoughts about Keyforge, maybe just be a little bit of the normal team stuff in regards to deck sharing for events that are coming up, and just have a place to be, unless if they're not otherwise associated, because we definitely have some really good players in our community that share, all the time. They play regularly, and they might not have another place to go.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a team, honestly, we're not turning people away. So that is not this type of team. We want to be open. We want to encourage everyone. That's what Keyforge really should be, is building that community. So I've really enjoyed seeing how the group has grown for Team AC or for AC, and just to open it up as to have a team is going to be an open piece. So I would love to have others. If you're looking for a home, come claim us and shout the name. I think that fits in with what we're kind of doing for Coat, is that we started to put AC in a couple of the team names for fun things.
Oh yeah, we're definitely not like saying if you're on Team AC, you can't be on some other team too.
Nope.
Depending on the event, you go with whatever team you identify with, but there's always Team AC if you're here with us, right?
Yeah, as I said, we're the home of the homeless.
Well, but I don't think it's necessarily that. I mean, honestly, when we've been going through our latest KFPL events, the Discord is hopping where people are there and just chatting and laughing and crying and passing around the doll for some of the different moments that are happening with events where you're just like, oh, okay, that RNG just happened, or oh, that was awesome. You're sharing your highlights, and that's what a community is. You share the success with others. You go ahead and share the remorse when you make a bad play, and you hold on to cards. Or, I think that we can just open it up and have something more official where you can put the little AC emblem. Hopefully, when we get back to Vault Tours, you can wear the AC polo shirt if you're interested in that. But if you don't,
that for mine.
But if you don't want to do that and you just come up and say hi, that's honestly the most important piece. It's a great community, but we want everyone to feel included. So if you need to call home, please come and join Team AC.
And we will do shirts again. Dan, what did you say you did to your shirt? You burned it?
No, I got too fat.
Oh, you got too fat. Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah, I can't fit that AC.
I got them Rona pounds, and I don't fit my polo no more. So
I was saying the other reason we have a team is because Wookie has like 400 decks, and he's got some really good ones, and they don't ever get played. So we need to make a team just so he can use his decks.
What?
Yeah.
How do you know about my decks?
Wookie's main why he
told you
that he does not play Keyforge.
Yeah,
that is not true. I have made a conceited and concerted effort to play in his concerted effort to play in as many chain-bound events as I can make it to on Thursdays and Sundays.
2.
I've made like 4. What are you talking about?
Okay, now you really got to come back to elementary if you think that you've made 4. Goodness, Wookie.
Hold on, I'm gonna check it right now.
Okay, let's count this together. First, we have 0. After 0, boys and girls, comes the number 1. After 1, hold up your fingers, Wookie. That goes 2.
I've got my socks and shoes off right now. Okay, we're counting. I played
2 is 3.
Okay,
1,
so
2, 3.
I'll admit it. I've played in 3. I made the 17th, the 21st, and the 31st. That's 3.
Well, yeah. So you don't play in them, but everybody else should come play in our events, right?
Yeah, they should.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, okay, I'm sorry, I work. My bad.
What do you think I do?
Yeah, but you get to work during
Don't
the day.
answer that.
You get to work during the day. I've seen what you do at work. You can go to the YouTube page and find out what Dan does at work. He opens damn prize kits.
If you're one of our regulars or one of our Patreons, or you just want to be, I think it's actually going to end up being called the AC Regulars. If you want to be tagged as an AC Regular hang out with the people that are AC, and whether you have other affiliations or not, want to join up, ding Ewok, me, Dan, or Wookie. Probably not Wookie. He might not respond. He doesn't play.
I respond. God.
He'll respond 2.5 days later.
That's possible.
And
that's
we'll
very
hook you up with
possible.
that tag, and you can start. We'll see where this goes. Like I said, it's like official, unofficial AC regulars starting soon.
I will
all right.
start shirt. I will start looking for a company that does not make incredibly expensive shirts.
Good. All right. So events coming up. We always kind of close out now with events that are on the docket. Before we get into events that are coming up, I believe, Dan, you have something from our personal events to present.
Right. So here at Archon's Corner, we have our regular Tuesday and Sunday events. Tuesday is always sealed, mostly Mass Mutation now, but you can play really whatever set you want. Come hit us up on the Discord if you want really more details on that. And Sundays is straight chain bound, just single solo Archon chain bound. But they both count towards the store leaderboard. So we have a store leaderboard, and January just ended. So we are excited to announce the first month of store leaderboard winners. So for the month of January, X-Ray Creator was our first place. He racked up 25 shards over 8 events?
Yep. Do you want to spin
like
with
to
each?
say-
Do you want to spin with each one, or do you want to name them all and then spin?
Well, does everyone really know like that they can like the way our chain bounds are working? I know we've talked about it briefly here and there, but tell them how they got it right.
So I'm running my store. I work with my local store, Kryptonite Collectibles. And like every store, we can't really do in-person events, right? So they have let me run them remotely, right? So our remote process is I run Gem off my computer. Using Discord, I share our Gem screen so you can see what your matches are. Then it is up to you after you get your matches to schedule your game with your opponent and play it. Obviously, you're using your cameras and playing online. But
Yes. We all know you're using the camera online, which, according to what y'all tell us, is TCO for abbreviation.
Yes. So that camera online. So you play your games, report them back to me. So it's just straight like actual official FFG chainbound. So that means you do need to contact me before the event and provide me with a QR code for your player code and for your deck code, because it's going into actual Fantasy Flight software, which, like I said, is all shared, so you can see what's going on there. And then it's actual chainbound, which means just for participating, you get an Amber Shard. This is those Amber Shards that you can spend at events when they happen again. And then for every win, you get another Amber Shard. And then we have leaderboard kits, which are those decks with the alternate art cards to give away. So we have a leaderboard for the store. So in this case, we're talking about our January leaderboards. Like we're saying, so X-Ray racked up 25 total Amber Shards over the course of the events to get first place. So I thought it was Brobnar decks, but actually month 1 is this decks with Not Finished With You being the alternate art. So we got 4 of those to give away. We're just doing them randomly to keep it easy, because I'm lazy. Everybody knows it. But
I've got the wheel up.
So Wookie's got a wheel he's recording.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 4. You got the 4 store deck names in there, right?
Sure do.
So our 4 decks is we got Hecate, Persone, store leader, Prisha, store leader of the vault, Franz, store leader of the dungeon, and Ulu, store leader of the preserve. So those are the 4 decks that are going to go out to these guys. Like I said, so X-Ray was first place, so Wookie's going to spin the wheel.
We're going to spin for him first?
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like... Oh, that's a lot louder than I thought that would be. We're going to go ahead and mute that. Franz, the store leader of the dungeon.
Okay, so he got Franz. This is a Brobnar Disc logo stack. Another one of these double wild wormhole disasters. But it's got a key to Disc, triple Lilithals, Exhumes, and some Brobnar. double volcanoes. So you enjoy that, X-Ray. You
Yeah.
and your volcanoes.
It does have key to dis and the double snag. So, I mean, you do have some interesting pieces with snag.
Yep. Double binding irons. So go read about the Doomies. There's an article out there called the Doomies about how to play double binding iron stacks and just to tank people with chains.
Chains. All right. Who's next? Who took second?
All right. Second place was Joker. He is a AOA fanatic like me. Pretty much mostly played AOA. Man,
I'm
take second
sorry.
place with that.
I'm so sorry.
Me too. So, all right, let's
And
spin.
he racked up 20 shards over the course.
Let's spin for Joker. Joker is getting Prisha, store leader of the vault.
All right. So this is another interesting deck, right?
That's
This
our
one-
triple exhume deck.
Yeah, triple exhume. So it's Dish Shadows Untamed.
But it
We were
has
kind
no,
of
but
making
it has
fun of
no
it
exhume
because
targets.
it's got a chain gang and 2 hugger muggers.
And the
Well-
ghost talk. Don't forget the ghost talk.
Well-
Actually, getting the Greater Ox step back is that
Yeah.
somewhat
Yeah.
significant.
I say with how bad the rest of this deck is, just keeping your Greater Rock stat in play is pretty good.
All righty.
So Joker likes bad decks, so he'll like this one.
Okay. Who took
All right,
third?
so third place at 18 shards was actually a tie between JMLMTL, we just call him JM, and myself, but I'm not taking decks because that's not fair. Because I just get to show up to all the events anyways. So all I do is take other people's shards by beating them.
Whoop, whoop.
All right. So
right.
JM, right?
Yep.
JM.
Is getting Ulu, store leader of the preserve.
This one has a very exciting Untamed house. It's this Star Alliance Untamed. It's got double imprinted Marmook, Ghost Hawk Key Charge, Floxia. That is a cheap, fast key there, quite possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But you also get to enjoy your deck with what we think has a -1 Amber control. None of these are scanned, so we don't know, but there is 0 Amber control cards in this deck.
And it has piece of cord.
Is there
But
any
it-
is there any deck out there that has 0 Amber control but has the F to overcome that?
A long time
Yes.
ago, my old teammate Eric was looking at a very good Jenka deck. I kind of discarded it immediately, but he was testing it, and it did have an amazingly high win rate. And it literally had 0 printed Amber control. It was straight up Jinka. I can't remember enough about it, whether it was like double Jinka or anything like super crazy as to why I was winning. But he had a very, very high win rate with the deck.
Because this, I'm just curious, because like just looking at this deck, it looks decently fast, like just play and go.
It does have double transporter platform, but only 1 upgrade to make the space dollars with that.
Yeah, but on that, I mean, you can get another activation off. Well, never mind. I thought you
Yeah,
could
I'm
get
not
another
seeing enough
activation.
F to do the do here, but it still has store leader in it. I love that they did that. So you
Yeah.
get a deck that you like can clearly prove like, hey, look, I was the top. They will know it's an alternate art deck. So yeah, I think all of them will be excited about it. It would probably be fun to play in the sealed, but outside of that, it would be a little.
Yep. On the back side of these, there's actually if you remember the print run for the store decks, that first store deck print run where they had an extra little logo on the back.
Yeah,
All store leaderboard decks from this kit, and I don't know what it is. It has a 4 and an up arrow on the back of the cards. So that's another way you can quickly tell that these are from a leaderboard kit. Is to actually put an icon on them. All right. Well,
Is it
we
like
have
for set
4th place.
4? I'm guessing it's for set 4.
Set 4 of what?
Worlds Collide is set 4.
No, it's not. It's set 3.
Yeah.
Isn't it set 4?
My God.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, you're right. 3.
This is why we kick Wookie off the show.
Hey, look, math is tough.
So after 3, Wookie,
Yep.
comes 4. We haven't worked on
Yep.
that yet in school, but we're
You
going to
know.
get there, man.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We're going to 4 right now because
Yes.
4th place is actually a tie between Tezcatlipoca, if I get that right today.
We just call him
Um,
Tez.
Yeah, we just call him Tez, and Anxious Pirate. So Wookie's got to spin the rando wheel to determine which one of our
Oh.
tied for 4th place
All
gets
right,
it.
hold on. We'll do that. So we'll put in Tez. And who was the other one?
Anxious.
Pirate.
Pirate.
Yep, pirate.
All right, so we'll give him a spin. And the winner is Tez.
All right, congratulations, Teska, on Heck 8 Person Store Leader. This
Before
one,
somebody murders us, this is actually like a famous name from a play in Greek mythology. It's Hecate. Our show knows this now, so
Yes.
don't go out of
there's
your
no
way.
little funny looking thing above the E, so I'm
It's
sorry.
definitely Hecate.
It's definitely Hecate, I've been told. This deck is a triple Senator Shrek's Ancient Power double Scud'em deck.
Hey, don't forget about the triple Gron 9 toes.
The triple Ground 9 toes, there is that too. And this has got 2 copies of Not Finished With You to have alternate arted. So that's, I don't know. This one actually looks pretty cool. Again, very little amber control.
It also has E on the fringes too. So
Yeah,
you
it
can
does
do-
have EE, Evil Eye. It's got a Ragnarok. That can be good.
Yeah, a little snag.
Triple 9 tones might actually be able to fire that overrun. Yeah, probably not.
Has a volcano.
Yeah.
Well, but with the double flamethrower, you can actually go out and pump up those ground 9 toes earlier. You know, there are some pieces that can actually be done here.
So yeah, so you too could come and win February leaderboard decks by joining us on Tuesday Sealed and Sunday Chainbound. There's also a Thursday night Chainbound that gets run, but that doesn't count for the leaderboard because it's on a separate store location's account and they're not leaderboard friendly over there. So
All right.
So we just have the 2 nights for that. So that's
2
the
nights for
regular
leaderboard.
Archons Corner event.
2 nights for Chainbound. Hey, that's 4 nights of getting shards. Which, by the way, I am almost getting my second.
3 nights.
What?
Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Oh God! People are really gonna think I really can't count after this. I am.
We have not worked on the days of the week yet with you, Wookie.
That's right.
It'll be okay, man.
Sábado domingo. Okay. Anyways, long story short, I almost got my second chair today. I'm at 1,902 shards.
Oh.
Those are vaporware chairs.
Yep.
They're what?
Very special material. Vaporware.
Oh. I don't know what that is, but okay.
That's when something's promised but never delivers.
Oh, got it. Yeah. So quick question. I know we're getting really off base here. Did Dave ever get his damn chair?
Oh
No.
Still nothing. Still nothing, huh? All right.
I don't think he's actually heard anything from them in several months either.
Oh, that's not good. I mean, I just had Josh message me the other day. That was about it. I asked him to come back on the show. I said, when can you come on again? And he said, that's a good question. And then said nothing. So maybe we'll get Josh again one day. We'll see. So,
I'll even be friendly.
You're never not friend. What? Okay. Dan gives off this idea that he's not friendly to people. He's fine. He's fine. Anyways.
Okay. So,
moving on. KFPL.
All right, yes. Real quick, a lot of the stuff you can just go find on the site, but we did have the KFPL. It was called the Last Chance Qualifiers, even though there are a few more spots in their Season 2, which will be in my next update. But we had the Triad. It went 6 rounds of Swiss. Lots of great play. Lots of fun decks. People seem to have a blast in the event. I got to cast with Jupiter the entire time. It was super fun. I believe Ewok was going to tell us the top 10, 1 through 10. These people are making it into KFPL Season 2 to represent a full-on Triad League that will run 6 weeks. Oh, no, it'll run 5 rounds, 5 weeks of round robin, and then it will culminate in a top 16 kind of top cut thing going on after that. Ewok, you got the list of the people that are now in Season 2?
Yeah, I will do my best to say them, but congratulations. We are very proud of all of you. So coming in number 1 was Galamenta Vez. Number 2 was Sodafly. 3 was Leo Lindsay. Number 4, Alex Shetlev. Number 5, Flaming Hobo. 6, Corey Than. 7, Sad Crybear. 8, Laporte. Number 9, Aviator. And number 10, J. Philip G, or J. Philip Egg. That's a big shout out to you, Dan, but J. Philip G. So phenomenal decks. Triad, there were some absolutely crazy things. I couldn't play because I was out with my youngest learning to ski and my oldest snowboarding. But it was, I came back and just saw the end, and well done. Very, very well done to all these people.
We all had a blast casting. We enjoyed it very much. Glad everyone was able to come out. And our next KFPL event, which we reserved 4 spots for to make sure that there would still be people that could enter this season 2 with our cash event. On the 13th, right next to Valentine's Day, we have Keyforging with Friends. Grab a partner. You both come play together. The entire event is based 100% on the number of keys forged per pairing. So after 8 rounds of Swiss, whichever pairs forge the most keys will be ranked. The top 5 will split the prize pool evenly. It's more about just forging and having fun with friends, not like necessarily 1, 2, 3, 4. But we will give the top 2 teams the remaining 4 slots entry to the KFPL Season 2. And I believe some of you might be playing, right?
I am. I'm very excited. They did change. So if you are qualified already for KFPL, please know that you have to play with a qualified person. If you're not qualified, you have to play with a non-qualified. But I got a phenomenal AC regular who's there, who I'm very excited. We're going to go ahead and rock some decks and just have an absolute blast. So it's, again, someone I met through our AC Discord, and let's play some Keyforge. Let's forge keys, and let's do it quickly.
What about you, Dan? You're going to come out and play in the 13th? I know you're qualified, but you can still have some fun playing.
Yeah, I think so. I think I found a partner to go and steal everybody else's money with, because this is a cash event, so I can win some space dollars to pay for some Dark Tidings when
some
it comes
more
out.
AOA boxes. Let's be honest,
Ooh,
you're not going to
yeah.
wait for Dark Tidings. You're going to go straight to AOA.
I have sealed AOA behind me. It's okay.
Yeah, I
Because
think
of course you do.
he's no longer gambling or whatever. Okay. What else? What we got next?
Can I go ahead and also give a big shout out to Luxury Playstyle once again? They're also throwing out a $75 voucher for them, and that's part of it. So
random
go ahead.
Team will get the $75 voucher. Whoever, actually, yeah, we're just give it to the team. They can divide it up however they want. So a random team will get the $75 voucher, and Luxury Playstyle has been super nice in supporting all of our events. So we do appreciate them. And one day we'll get to actually use those really cool keys in live events again.
Yeah, and I will go ahead.
One day.
Sorry. I will say the other piece with this is you don't have to feel overwhelmed if you don't have this big beastly deck, because this is a 75 SAS cap. And it is based on the February release that just came out. So kind of check 75 SAS. That is the limit. And this is going to be a great event. Outside of that, I think that our next piece that we have some coat teams. You talked a little bit about it earlier. But Code 8 is coming up, and we have a number of AC teams representing. So good luck to all the teams. What else do we have to say about that, boys?
Right. So as has been mentioned, we have that full disc prize kit from Fantasy Flight OP donated to this cause. So anybody who is joining Code 8 and wants to represent Archon's Corner, all you got to do is when you create your name, you put AC in it, capital A, capital C. And if you want to get clever and put it in another word or however you want to do it, I'm okay with it. And then whatever team who's representing AC a little bit in this Coat 8 does the best is going to get this whole disc play kit. I'm going to work hard to try to chase up a third playmat so everybody gets the playmat who's on that team.
Sweet.
Because the kits only come with 2, but I'm pretty handy.
As I said, if someone tagged me a while back, I would join their team, and Tez did tag me, and I think it's Tez, me, and Joker, so I'm very excited to represent AC with those guys, and hey, maybe Tez and Joker will be 2 of the new AC regulars with Ewok and Wookie, and all 4 of us. the AC regulars. That sounds fine.
So right now we got five teams contending for this, which is the Grump Buggy Brewers are back, and that's my team with Ewok. There's the AC Regulars, that's the team with Z. And then there's Easier from the Bottom, AC plus UAP. That's our friend Drazcor. And then there's Can't Touch Dis, the Wolf Pack, and Can't Touch Dis Aces. I know one of those is not tonight's team, and I guess I'm not actually sure which one the other who's on the other team yet. I didn't actually look at that, but we have 5 so far, so there's some competition here, but there's still time to sign up. Even if you have signed up, go there and tell C Minion that you want to change your name just to make his life more work.
He loves it. It's his
Yes.
favorite thing to do.
So then our other event that we got coming up, right? Another reason to give away some of this fantastic prize support that OP has made, and there isn't enough events to give it away. We have the Gauntlet scheduled. And sorry for any confusion I made because I can't proofread. We have the Gauntlet scheduled. This is a 4-deck, 4-set Archon survival event. So you got to bring 1 deck from each set. This is another 75 SAS cap event, but we're taking January or February SAS scores. Still now, whichever one if you get a deck that was 70, 75 last month and is now 80, well, good for you. You can still choose to play it, as long as January or February's SAS rating was 75. But this is that 4-deck survival, so it's going to be a longer event. So our days we have scheduled are February 27th and March 6th. Both those, if we have, February 27th, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be 7 rounds, but at 35-minute fast rounds, we'll still be done in less than 6 hours that day, even with a break. So it's long, but it's definitely not unmanageable. And if player count is high enough, we're going to be having another 7 rounds on March 6th. So that way we can get through and get this done, because we don't want to turn it into a league that drags on for 6 months.
And if that doesn't entice you enough, I have asked off for this event.
So you can come kick the Wookie's teeth in.
You can try.
4 people will have the opportunity to beat him up.
You're saying he's going 0-4 then?
Oh, for sure. But,
Okay.
I mean, why do you really want to join the Gauntlet besides playing awesome Keyforge with awesome people over at Archon's Corner? It's because we have the prizes. So this one has that newest of OP excitement, and that's the Shadows OP Premium Kit, which includes 2 Dusk Runner mats and the Dusk Runner figurine. So this is that cool painted little vinyl resin figure who comes on the really awesome blue plastic key. And there's also physical deck boxes, chain trackers. If you come look at the event, we also have all of the house tokens, which, to my knowledge, we're like the only ones that I've seen pictures. There are now Star Alliance house tokens available. We got some pictures of those there so you can see what they are, but we have the Shadows, Dis, and Star Alliance house token sets that are being given away. And then, because there's an entry fee of $15, that money is being converted into what we're hoping to be Dark Tidings boxes, which we'll ship out as prizes too. That's an interesting side thing. I was just over at my store picking up mass mutation boxes for our sealeds, and we went to look at pre-ordering Dark Tidings, and on Asmodee's site, we could pre-order 2-player starters and deluxe starters right now, but we could not pre-order boxes of single decks.
Really?
So it makes me in my fear-mongering brain says, I wonder if the 2-player starters and the deluxes came over on one container and the other container is going to be delayed. So there may be a chance that
the other container is in Sheep's backyard.
It is on that boat that tipped over and lost like 75 or 750. I don't remember.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's
wouldn't that be awful?
It lost like what? It was like 750 crates or pieces or something like that.
Something. Who knows? But I've heard shipping out of China right now is really bad. So there might be a delay. So it may be that Dark Tiding release happens on time, but it may only be starters and deluxe starters.
We're not going to spread any rumors. We're hopeful, but yes.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. Like I've got my pre-order in with my store. Like my store owner, he's got my number, and he's his assignment is to check Asmodee every day, waiting to be able to click that, buy some boxes. But sadly, yesterday was not the day. So hopefully pre-order's open for that soon. But we're excited. So bunch of Dark Tidings decks, right? So for every 8 players, we'll be adding another box of Dark Tidings to this. A bunch of those prizes are getting given away random. So that way, even if you don't succeed, you still have a good chance to win something. So I think that's always
this just
important.
came into my head, and you know who? You probably both remember this. I don't know. Maybe you want to think about this. If you guys remember, the old school Hero Clicks way. There was one prize for the people who won, and
Fellowship.
Then there was the
Are you going to say
prize.
Fellowship?
I am going to say Fellowship.
Now we have Ewok, and that man wins all the Fellowship.
Yep, I do. I'm very good at fellowshipping.
Okay.
Guess who's not good at fellowshipping?
Dan.
Yeah. No, that's because I'm too busy kicking in teeth.
Oh, okay.
Guess who's not very good at winning? Did I tell you I was actually in that top 4 for the leaderboard, and I just went ahead and managed to go 1 and 3 for the last 3 weeks, both Archon and Sealed. It just didn't even matter at the end, so I booted myself out.
I feel bad.
Ewok
I think I played you in both
one
of them.
Amber Shard out of winning a deck.
Yep.
Oh.
But I'm glad it went.
One?
Yep.
Yep.
One.
Oh, you gotta speak up, homie.
And I had to miss 1 week because of my COVID. But honestly, I'm really happy that our AC.
Because now I feel terrible because I played you both weeks I played.
Yeah.
And I was not in anywhere near contention for any of those.
We do not throw games here. We play and we have fun. Honestly, to know that our AC regular is exactly what I want. So
right.
No worries.
Sounds good. We have anything else in the docket? I think that about wraps it up.
We're good.
Good. And just about the hour mark. Whoever said 2 hours, you were wrong. You can have that. But that's going to do it for today's show.
I could keep talking.
I know you can, but we're going to keep it here and save it for next week, all right? Cool. Anyways, that's going to do it for us. Any last thoughts? We'll start with Z. Last thoughts, Z.
Just keep playing Keyforge, come out to the events. Got a lot of stuff going on in February. We have the 13th. Then we have, at the end of the month, we have the Gauntlet starting. Lots of 75 SAS cap. I believe that a lot of players will be looking to do that all through Chainbound at AC. So join the channel. Hang out, play Keyforge. Lots of good folks here.
All right. Final thoughts, JR.
I think I actually need to use my final thoughts to give a big shout out. We have one of our AC regulars, I'm pretty sure, JM, that you have a new Keyforger coming, and that is through a birth on Tuesday. So good luck in advance. Hopefully I didn't mess that up, but big shout out to you and to the whole family.
I think you meant congrats. Right? Or good luck. I don't know. I guess I don't know. Dan, final thoughts.
It's good luck for his wife. I mean, let's be very honest. This is not. I mean, it is a second child, but still, in COVID season and kind of what can happen. I wish them luck and congratulations. So we can throw the congratulations in too.
Yeah.
This is why Ewok gets the Fellowship Award, because he remembers this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But Dan, final thoughts?
Well, yep. Keep forging keys. Come to our events. We are planning our next big events too. So if we kind of have another exciting sealed thing in the works right now, so expect some news on that in the next few weeks. But come to us with other cool event ideas, because I have prize kits and I need reasons to give them away.
Perfect. So, guys, take care. Take care of each other, and we'll see y'all next week.